Hello and welcome to another video. We just had the Valara banner and her release, obviously at the same time this weekend. And she is, for Arena, apparently creating a new meta. We were facing our Piercer team so far now for a long while, pretty much since the new Arena came out. Ingrid was struggling to get her footing into the arena. With her now, with Valara in, you can see there are already a few teams that are somewhere at the top. We have Seraphia, someone from Talent Mansion, X1 or 11, I don't know what exactly his name is. I'm running the same team, and the BP is just giga high, which makes it kind of rough for Piercer teams to potentially keep up with it. Especially as I feel like for me, for example, I'm at 660 already. With an A0 Alex, I can definitely get way more out of that, out of her. And as well, yeah, same obviously for Yao Awakenings. So you could maybe, with the Merrick gems and everything, look in the direction of like actual 700 KBP and not just the rounded number here, 700. But let me show you the team first, and let me walk you through it. This is what we've been cooking yesterday with teams, and then I can show you afterwards a fight against someone else. Just send an order in. So right off the start, there are two different options which you can start, which is either Alexandra as an opener or Valara. I am showing you the Alexandra opener, which I personally prefer. At the same time, we have Buff Kigiri or Surf, who is running the Valara start. This is also a valid option. She's clearing the first waves pretty easily. Maybe even better if you are facing higher BP. So, e.g. Cobalt, who has the 670k. I had issues to clear these two now, and this is what we're doing right now. We kill these mobs and then use the lightnings at double stacks to finish these mobs out. This could be with even higher BP, could be an issue. And then bring Diao in, it's the same for him. What we'll do now in wave 2 is get one auto attack out from Alex and then trigger her ult. So we have one auto attack, then trigger her ult, and that way we can delay the basic attacks of her, which will result in us being able to get the mark on the second mob. This is something, by the way, if you are delaying the clear of the first mobs against, for example, Piercer teams, the Alexandra will most of the times trigger already instantly with a passive on the first mob, and this makes up for like sometimes up to 50% of the HP. So as you can see already, I've lost 16% and he lost 22%. So we are already at least kind of catching up just by the second round for what we've lost in the first round. So third round we're going to lose again. This is slower. Here we're going to do the same thing. Trigger with Alex on the first mob. She just now triggered her passive, so this is going to take a little time. But she should trigger it soon enough, at least, since we have used her ult to reduce the cooldown a bit. So we want an insert trigger here, just so that she's ready early enough again. And use one lightning, since we just want to clear out these mobs. And then be able to trigger right here with Alex passive on the last two mobs. As you can see here, he triggered only on one of them and not on the lower one. And this is because from her placement here, the one normal mob up here on this spot is actually further away than this bottom flyer. Meaning we won't be able to get the passive onto both of them if we are just leaving them alive and not dealing with the one on this spot. Going into wave 6, what I'm doing is slightly delaying Alex ult until we have both of them in range. Trigger Alex ult, get the mark on both of them. This is a bit unfortunate as we got the mark on the third one but not on the fourth. And then use the lightnings to clear everything out. If we've gotten, just like him, a little bit better timing on the marks, we could have killed all of them. And from here on out, it's pretty much just about switching in between of Valara. She's going to clear this wave here. And then going into next wave, we want to clear with Ingrid. Just to stall time for Valara to come back up again. As you can see, she's now perfectly in Overload. Gonna use her as well. Now it's just about getting the marks again onto these two. So all about Alex. If this is running a bit more smoothly, you can actually get the mark earlier. This is just the usual Alex RG, pretty much in the run. What I'm doing here with wave 9 is, since you're not ready just in time with Valara, at least this is what happened for me, I'm going to trigger Pope on these first mobs here, link them ideally, and then use double lightning, and that way we can clear out the rest. And now it's just a waiting game pretty much for Alex. Yeah, perfectly to get the trigger on the end. As you can see, he was leaking a bit, but we also cleared these mobs fast enough for him to he would have dropped on 8.4% if there wasn't the leak going through. So the whole team's pretty much building around, we wanna clear the last waves faster. So wave 7 to 9. This is pretty much where the team is shining. Beforehand, it is not necessarily stronger than the team that the Piercer team is running, pretty much. So this is how the team is supposed to work. Let me now just quickly take a look and jump into an example of a Piercer team. Okay, just to make sure that I'm obviously not showing a giga low example. This right here now is against an A5 Alex. I'm just gonna let it run through, and you'll see it's pretty much the same. At least I hope so. It's the same rotation. Not that I'm wrote myself some weird stuff down, but it should work out the same way. So we got the trigger on these two. As you can see, this is now the example of what I was talking about. If the enemy doesn't perfectly get the trigger here, this is A5, so he actually managed to clear this kind of fast. From my experience, usually non-A5s drop to like in the direction of 50% here. Yeah, let's not talk about Alex. Adiao. Sorry. She's still doing whatever she wants. I think I just forgot about the end to switch her back and forth. So we clear wave 5 again a little bit faster. So we are about even. Get the double mark here. Unfortunately, she got her passive right before already, so it's going to delay a bit. And now that is the time where Valara comes in and shines, and boom, wave cleared. It's not even close that the last mob is in direction or in the area of Hatsud. Here we were waiting for the last mark, of course, but didn't hurt too much. And now it's about the mark again, and we got it, and boom. So you can see, like, we did a lot of damage in wave 2, and then most of it pretty much in the last 3 waves, and just, yeah, pushed him down that way. So you can see A5 Alex is still giga strong. She's doing insane damage. I'm unfortunately only on the 0, so there's a lot of room to improvement for me. Especially if I would have a higher awakening on her, I would even more tend to the Alexandra start, in my opinion. I feel like the rotations just more smoothly with the Alex start in comparison to the Valara start. And here we have another example. It's A4. The annoying part, as I said, is especially the defense. Like, you can run the same team on offense, it's working just the same, but you can also run that team at the same time on defense, which is just giga high BP. And I know from a buddy of mine out of our guild who had like serious issues when trying to face the team because it's just as high, and we weren't even pushing that far at that point in time. Yeah, unfortunately here the passive trigger was already early on the first mob, and she didn't get her ult out at that point in time. Yeah, here we got the perfect trigger on the last 2 mobs. Don't question Diao. Yeah, this can sometimes happen. I'm not too sure why and whatever. Why Alex wasn't ready for her ult there, but yeah, it is what it is. And we're done by wave 7 already. So this is pretty much the idea behind this team. As I said, you have giga high BP, you can somewhat clear the first waves, and you would shine at the end even harder. And then that BP. For my BP, I can already tell you this is not running clean. I know that Mango was trying to record a video yesterday against my team. And yeah, that didn't quite work out. So the first time he failed at some point, and the second time, I think at least he failed at some point, and the second time around, I leaked somewhere in the earlier waves. I would still need the higher awakenings on Alexandra just to make it more consistent and easier to have more damage on her. Obviously, at the same time, A3 Diao is also, by the way, a big deal, a huge deal, because you will drop the penetration buff on Alexandra by the time you drop Ingrid. Since you only can give 2 people the penetration buff and it goes to the 2 with the highest attack currently on the board, so it gets updated actually. You have the option of Valara, who's a fighter, high attack. You have the next option, Alexandra, Piercer, medium attack, to be honest. And you have Ingrid, a mage with Tear of Twilight, which gives additional 30% attack. She has Giga attack as well. Pretty much similar. Yeah, no, she has way more than Valara, to be honest. So you have Ingrid and Valara, who's going to get the penetration buff, and your Alex will suffer from that. It has cost me in the past some issues with wave 6, since this is around the time where you would drop Ingrid anyways. Either For example, you have A3DL, then this isn't an issue. You could delay the drop of Ingrid after wave 6. There are a few options. Have high awakenings on Alex. Also helps out. For gear, I am not going to run exactly over my gear what I was running on that team, obviously to not show off what I'm exactly running. You can run Cataclysm or Infernal Raw on Ingrid. The same for Alexandra. Valara, I would run in Cataclysm or Soulbound Arcana. And Pope is Soulbound Arcana as usual. And Yao-chan, obviously, on Wings of Grace. Maybe he's Wings of Grace. This is not what he was running. You have Cataclysm here. So let's see a high attack. Infernal Raw. And this is some BP gear, guys. But that's the direction where it's going. There is still some room for improvement for this team, but so far this seems to be potentially being the new way of anti-air, as long as you have the Awakenings, of course, fight. Okay, I hope everyone who was interested in it can learn something from it, pick something up, and yeah, best of luck in a lot of fun in Arena in the upcoming times. Until then, take care, bye.